Hello everyone, today I have brought you an amazing movie called Interceptor. So let's watch it without delay. The movie starts with a montage that explains to us what interceptors are, while one interceptor base is being attacked. In short, an interceptor is a base which uses radars to spot nuclear missiles and intercept them while they are still in the air in order to neutralize them. The US has two such bases. One of them is located in Alaska, called Fort Greely, and it is under attack. The other one is a platform in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, called SBX-1. This is the base where Captain Collins lands in a helicopter. She is taken straight to Colonel Marshall, who is happy to have her back. When they are left alone, he clarifies that he believed her claims when she left the base some time ago. When Collins is taken to her room, a flashback shows us that she has suffered a case of sexual harassment from a higher-up. She reported the incident, and that got her down a difficult legal adventure. In any case, she will not have much time to rest as the colonel bangs on her door and tells her to go to the control room with her side gun. They are informed about Fort Greely, but that is not the only bad news they will receive. Soon, the NSA communicates with them and informs them that 16 nuclear missiles have been stolen in Russia. Now, this interceptor base is the only one remaining to protect the US from potential missile attacks. Like that was not enough, they now receive a video from a terrorist group that threatens they will annihilate the United States in a single day. Marshall takes Collins outside for a talk and asks her if she is ready for this. Collins says she is fine, but then the two of them are attacked by some men pretending to do maintenance work. Marshall is killed with a bullet in his head while Collins manages to get cover. After an exchange of shots, she is able to close a door between the terrorists and the control room, also preventing them from taking the colonel's keycard. A big guy from the terrorists is the only one who has made it through, and Collins has no option but to fight him. After some hard hits, she disassembles her pistol and uses it to stab the big guy in his eye. Collins returns to the control room and closes yet another metal door, creating a tunnel between the control room and the terrorists. Inside the control room, she is stuck with her two corporals. One of them, Shaw, is fine but too scared to fight. The other one, Beaver, is unconscious because a bullet clipped him accidentally. The leader of the terrorists, Kessel, communicates with Collins through a screen system attached next to the doors, saying that she needs to give up. He claims he has gotten everyone on the rig, and they are the last ones remaining. Collins now gets an incoming line from the Pentagon. They tell her she has to protect that control room at all costs. They have already sent a SEAL team towards them, but the estimated time of arrival is 90 minutes. At the same time, the terrorists start using blowtorches to breach the first door, so Collins estimates they will be through it in 30 minutes. Kessel brings a captain that he has kept alive in order to blackmail Collins to open the door. When she replies that she is not going to open it, Kessel kills the captain. Inside the control room, Collins asks Shaw if there is any other way the terrorists can try and enter the room. As soon as she makes that question, one of the terrorists enters the control room through a hatch on the floor. Collins fights him off but loses her pistol. Shaw finds a shotgun, but he hesitates to shoot the bad guy. Eventually, Collins grabs the shotgun and uses it to kill the terrorist. After throwing him outside through the hatch, Collins remarks that they have no guns now. Her pistol fell through while the shotgun is too old, and they risk it blowing onto their faces if they shoot it. Soon, Kessel communicates with Collins again, and this time shows her a nasty picture of hers that he has on his phone. Collins says other men have used the same trick on her, but then Kessel starts narrating her story. Collins landed her dream job 3 years ago when she started working in the Pentagon as a 3-star general. However, one of the other generals started harassing her, promising that he would get her to the top for the right price. One day, Collins secretly recorded him and took him to court. That general got discharged, but there was a backlash from the army against Collins. She was receiving threatening messages, and she was being called a million names. At some point, she could not handle it anymore, and she tried to commit the unthinkable. Thankfully for her, her father saved her at the last minute. The army still punished her indirectly by sending her here. In a place that nobody wants to work in, Kessel concludes that Collins is not unbeatable. However, he also tells her that she owes America nothing. He will pay her good money if she opens the door for them. Kessel and his team get through the first door and things get tense. On top of that, there is an unpleasant surprise waiting for Collins and Shaw. Beaver grabs a gun he has hidden and aims it at them, revealing that he is secretly working with Kessel. After shooting at their vests, Beaver opens the door and Kessel is inside the control room. Beaver starts saying how much he hates America. because immigrants got too many rights while the state also neglected its Native American citizens. Even though Collins is tied up, she can't listen to him anymore and headbutts him. Soon, Kessel has control over the emergency broadcast system, and he now appears in every smart screen there is. The President of the United States communicates with him and threatens him that they will find him and kill him, but that does not prevent Kessel from delivering his speech. He says that America will be destroyed and 300 million people will die. He will attack in 2 waves. First, he will attack Los Angeles so the rest of America can witness the chaos. Then he will unleash 15 more nuclear missiles in order to destroy 15 more cities. After saying that, he communicates with his group in Russia and orders them to launch the missile. While the time is counting down, Kessel likes to express his views about the nation. Being a good showman, he approaches Shaw and asks him how many times he has been a victim of racism just because he is Hindu. Then, he approaches Collins and tells the people about that incident with the general. He explains that the army put a bounty on her for finding embarrassing footage from her life. While showing her photo, he also explains that she had taken this picture for charity. Collins interrupts him and says she was playing as a goalkeeper. The thing with goalkeepers is that they regularly dislocate their thumbs. While saying that, she dislocates her thumb and gets her hands out of the zip ties restraining her. She starts fighting with all of them, killing one of Kessel's crew members, while she also manages to lock Kessel and Beaver outside the door. However, the female member of Kessel's crew is still inside the control room. The 2 women each have their unique goals. Collins wants to reach the big red button so she can launch an interceptor, while the mean woman wants to reach the buttons right next to the door so she can open it for Kessel. The woman gets the upper hand in the battle, but soon Collins fills her mouth with foam and makes her pass out. With only 5 minutes remaining to effectively launch an interceptor, Collins presses the button and the missile is destroyed in the air. The mean woman gets up again, and this time, Collins deals with her by shooting her until she falls through the hatch on the floor. Kessel wants to have a talk with Collins and starts telling her about his father, who apparently is an ambassador in the United Nations. Then, she shows Collins a live video of her own father, who has been apprehended by Kessel's men. He pressures her to open the door while his men cut a finger off her father's hand. Collins begs him to speak to her father, so he gives them a moment. However, her father yells to the top of his lungs that she should never stop fighting. Kessel orders his men to kill him. They put a pistol on his head and shoot while the connection is being lost. Next, Kessel finds the colonel's computer and uses his thumb to unlock it. Having granted himself access to it, he initiates the scuttling protocol, which basically means that the rig will sink. A series of explosions happen underwater, and the computer calculates there are only a few minutes left until the rig sinks. Of course, if it sinks, the interceptors will not be functional. Shaw jumps in the water in order to reach a room where he can shut the valves off so he can buy them some time. He finds a control panel and shuts the valves off. The computer recalculates the time it will take the rig to sink, and it is around 17 minutes. As for Shaw, Beaver finds him and kills him. Since the SEAL team is not yet there, Collins knows that they will lose the interceptors once the rig sinks. If they do, the missiles will be free to cause mayhem in the U.S. Therefore, she suggests making Kessel believe he is in command of the control room, so he launches the missiles. Then, she will regain command of the control room and intercept the missiles in the air before the rig sinks. The Pentagon can't find a better solution, so they agree to her plan. Beaver enters the control room from the hatch, but realizes it is empty. He opens the door for Kessel, who takes action immediately. He orders his team to launch the missiles, tells Beaver to find Collins and kill her, and instructs the other crew member to throw acid on the controls in order to burn the circuits. Beaver searches for Collins on the roof, but she is instead hiding in the control room in plain sight under a biohazard suit. Kessel's thug pours some acid on the red button, and then he is killed by Collins. Then, she shoots at Kessel, who runs away like a coward. She tries to press the red button, but it is melted away. However, she comes up with another solution. She grabs a laptop, climbs on the roof, and connects it to the main system. Despite her good idea, Beaver interrupts her and she has to fight him. She wraps some razor wire around his neck, trying to push him to the sea, but Beaver pulls her along and she ends up in the water. While Beaver loses his head, Collins climbs back up on the rig by hanging by the bars with just one hand. Eventually, she makes up to the roof and launches the interceptors. The missiles are all destroyed and America is saved. However, Kessel now returns for one last battle with her. Collins beats him up by only using her right hand, but soon a giant Russian submarine emerges from the sea. Collins is not sure about what's going to happen, but the Russians only kill Kessel because he failed on his mission while they leave her alone. At the same time, the SEAL team approaches and takes Collins to safety. Finally, Collins wakes up in a hospital, and the president pays her a visit, offering her a new position in her national security team. Additionally, Collins reunites with her father, who was saved by some old army folks of his when they saw the broadcast. And this is where our amazing movie ends today. I hope you all liked it. If you like it, subscribe to the channel and stay by the side of the channel. See you in the next video. Goodbye for now.